Hello, I'm romance author Lori Thorne, and welcome to my weekly writing vlog, Good Time Writing. This week I've been writing, of course, but I've also been preparing for my next book signing, which is in Asheville, North Carolina on November 8th at the Barnes & Noble in the mall. I've done a signing there before. It was my favorite signing of all time. I think I've got videos about that too. And now I've been invited to come back. And I'm always excited about these, but this one is exciting for even different reasons. First, I'll have my first two books there, Remotely Love and Locally Love, which I've never had in a Barnes & Noble before. So it's their debut being in book signing event for them. And that is really appropriate for a couple of reasons. First, and here they are. So these are both set in a fake town called Crestwood. However, Crestwood is Asheville. Okay, let's just get that straight. The streets, the layout of the town, it is Asheville. And that was very purposeful. And in Locally Love, they actually go to the Grove Park Inn. I don't even think I changed the name of it. It's just the Grove Park Inn. So, super appropriate. And this one is spanning from Thanksgiving to New Year. So it's kind of a holiday novella rom-com vibe. And it's November 8th is the signing. So it's definitely like timing hooray. So needless to say, I'm stoked. However, this has presented an interesting dilemma. And it kind of makes you look back on the past and see how far you've come when something like this happens. But when I published these books, I didn't have the same processes for making bookish swag and things like this. And I posted about that earlier this week on a short. And I had some questions come up about it, so I thought I would talk about it here in more depth. So specifically, back when these books were published, I did have something printed. I made it in Canva. It was a bookmark. It was because I was selected to be in Romance Revealed book box with Remotely Love, which was awesome. However, I didn't know or have the capability to make that sort of thing on my own. I could design it, but I needed to have a professional printing service print the bookmark, and I did do that, but I would do it again at that time. For sure, it was the right decision for me to do. That was part of the deal, to get to participate, and that was an amazing experience. However, it was a little expensive, and it did make me realize the importance of having that sort of thing. And eventually I bought a Cricut so that I could do it at home. And so I've had to play catch up, and I lost a day of writing this week as I was designing new things specifically for these books and the holiday that we're going into, and printing out stickers, and I will be printing out bookmarks for them as well. However, I want to make 2 points. First, it was totally worth missing some time from writing to do this. Having little bookish, swaggy things that you are not selling but can just give away at your table is important for a couple of reasons. First, it does attract people. They see the bright colors, they see stickers just attract most people, I think, and it draws them in. And they're conversation starters. So I'm not the best conversationalist, especially with strangers, and these really help to have them right on the table, especially if you have a mixture of ones that tie into your book, because then it's just a lead in, right? As an example, I printed this North Pole Book Club. There's a Crestwood book club in both of these books. So if people are attracted to the sticker, then I can tie it into the books. But I also print ones that are not necessarily book related, but are like book friendly. This guy, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy books, and that's pretty much the same thing, because maybe you're just looking to have a different type of conversation, or this is a different kind of reader, and then they're likely to remember you as the cool person that gave them this sticker. So I do think it's really worth it. But second, I do think it's really worth it to do yourself. And because it can be expensive to get these things like professionally printed, even if you find a good deal, it adds up. And especially if you're doing them with each of your books like I do, it really adds up over time. And it's to give away. So you want to mitigate your cost, which is why I bought a Cricut. Now mine is an Explorer 3. I got it refurbished from Cricut. It's worked perfectly. There is some software that you have to use, but it's pretty user-friendly. So if you can use Canva, you can definitely do a Cricut, I would say. So you be the judge. But I made a bunch of cool stickers. I'll show you. I got a little gingerbread dude. I made this one all by myself. It's a bike with Christmas lights on it. I had to cobble it together and print out. And then Remotely Love, of course, takes place in a remote work environment. It's the work from home romance. So I have some kind of like iterating far off romance stuff. And I already showed you this one. But yeah, fun times. Definitely would look into a Cricut. It does the stickers, it does bookmarks. You can make them double-sided. There's all different types of shapes you can do. Like it's a good tool. It's a good tool for authors, and I think probably a lot of people. So all that aside, if you can come on the 8th, please do. I'll put the link to the event. You can let me know, but come claim your free swag, and I hope to see everyone there. It's gonna be so fun. And I do have Vote Your WIP lines for us today, so let's get into those. Mabel focused her attention on the computer and refused to look at Finn or even to glare at Laura, even though she definitely deserved it. Laura. I'm doing great, maybe better than ever, and my family should all be happy for me, but if you can't be, at least shut up about it. And finally, Mabel. Frankie's voice was deadly serious. People be murdering. Let me know which line is your favorite in the comments. Have a great week. I will see you next time. And hey, if you liked this, then give me a subscribe.